I kicked his ass from the backyard to the front room and spit in his face. That's not a rumor. That's a text message sent by Matt Barnes about his own former best friend. I didn't view it as an unwritten code thing. Fisher tried to talk his way out of it on national television, called it a misunderstanding, called it timing. But somebody who's been watching this whole thing unfold from the outside just said the quiet part out loud. And now, 9 years later, with the marriage that started this entire war reportedly falling apart, the question isn't whether Matt Barnes has something to say, it's whether he's already said it. But here's what nobody is connecting. Everybody talks about this story like it started with a fight in a backyard. It didn't. It started years before that with two men who trusted each other in a locker room that doesn't exist anymore. Darek Fisher and Matt Barnes were teammates on the Lakers. Not friendly and passing teammates, actually close. The kind of close where your kids call the other guy uncle. That detail matters more than people give it credit for because it's the whole reason what happened next hit as hard as it did. By the time Matt and Gloria Govan's marriage collapsed for good in 2014, Darek Fisher had already spent nearly a decade married to a woman named Candace, the mother of his twin daughters, one of whom battled a rare eye cancer while Darek was mid-contract with the Utah Jazz. He walked away from 3 years and roughly $20 million guaranteed so his daughter could get better care in Los Angeles. That's the version of Darek Fisher that existed before any of this. A guy who gave up money for his kid. 2 months after Matt filed for divorce from Gloria, Darek did something almost identical, except this time it wasn't about money. It was about Candace. He served her divorce papers, moved his things out of their apartment in the middle of the night, and by the accounts in her own court filings, went nearly 2 weeks without answering her calls. 2 separations, 2 months apart. 2 men whose marriages were ending at the exact same time. And somewhere in that overlap, Darek Fisher started spending time with Gloria Govan, October 2015. Matt Barnes' sons call him and tell him something simple. Uncle Darek is at mom's house. That's it. That's the whole trigger. Not a headline, not a paparazzi photo. A kid telling his dad who's hanging out at the house. I can't believe people think I was some maniac driving 95 miles and listening to Tupac to go beat somebody up. No, I live 15 minutes away. I was going over to check on my kids because they seemed uncomfortable. Because here's what actually happened, according to the New York Post. Matt showed up to find Darek and a group of people at a bonfire in the backyard. A fight broke out around 11:45 p.m. Cops got called. Darek left before they showed up, and then that text went out. I kicked his ass from the backyard to the front room and spit in his face. Darek never pressed charges, called it personal, and when he finally addressed it publicly, he didn't apologize. He minimized it. I viewed it as Matt and I played together for 1 season. It was 5 years prior to when Gloria and I started having a conversation after we both had filed for divorce and had gone through the divorce process. I didn't view it as an unwritten code thing. 1 season as teammates. That's how Darek framed it. Like proximity was the only thing that mattered. Not trust, not the Uncle Darek nickname his own kids used, not any of it. And this is where the story most people tell you just stops. Fight happened, everybody moved on, cordial for the kids. Cute ending, except it isn't the ending. It's the beginning of a pattern that's about to repeat itself in the exact opposite direction. Gloria and Darek got engaged in 2018, married in 2021. And for years, the public narrative around this relationship was simple. Darek Fisher won. He got the girl, built the blended family, moved past the ugliness, and settled into something that looked stable next to Matt and Gloria's chaos. I still like him. I'm going to keep him around for a while. Meanwhile, Matt Barnes was doing something Darek wasn't. Building, podcast, media career, public presence. According to commentary from O'Shea Duke Jackson, that gap didn't happen by accident. Look at what Matt Barnes is doing now in comparison to Darek Fisher. Matt Barnes got, built his own podcast. Darek Fisher, his life has been completely different. He's back. He's coaching high school basketball now. That's the part almost nobody talks about. While Darek was being framed as the guy who got the girl, he went from Lakers championship legend to head coach of the New York Knicks, to the WNBA, to coaching high school basketball at a prep school in Encino. Meanwhile, the guy who supposedly lost, Matt Barnes, was building a media empire, and by several accounts, becoming more recognizable than he'd ever been as a player. O'Shea's theory? That's not a coincidence. That's consequence. When people know that you ain't solid, they're not going to invite you onto the podcast. You weak. You're not legit. So some dudes can never deal with you ever. While the public was watching Darek and Gloria play house, the paperwork told a different story about who Gloria actually was to deal with. And it's relevant because it's the same behavior pattern that would eventually catch up to this marriage too. By 2023, Gloria owed her own divorce attorneys $200,000 in unpaid invoices. A production company sued her and her cannabis business for allegedly stringing them along on a $15,000 contract, promising Zelle payments that never came. She was also back in court with Matt over child support, claiming she made $15 an hour and had $8,000 to her name, while simultaneously listing $1,100 a month in restaurant spending and $1,500 a month on entertainment. Got the letter from your lawyer filled with lies. You take this any further and I'll be sure to tell your husband and everyone else why you really in your feelings. Read that again. Matt Barnes, in a legal document, is threatening to tell Darek Fisher something about his own wife. That's not two exes who moved on peacefully. That's a man who still knows exactly where the bodies are buried in that marriage and isn't shy about reminding everyone of it. I have upheld my end of the bargain. Gloria still seeks in bad faith effort to double dip and secure an unjust and unwarranted windfall. And through all of it, Gloria kept building her public image around personal transformation. The cannabis business framed as healing, as purpose, as growth. Being a professional, a functioning professional, a mom, I think for me it's been a really heavy point to drive. Two totally different versions of the same woman playing out at the exact same time. Fast forward to 2025. Matt Barnes gets fired from NBC Sports after allegedly heckling referees and putting his hands on a student announcer at a game where his own twins were playing for Cresby Carmelite High School, the same school where Darek Fisher is the head coach. Think about that. Even years removed, even with new marriages, new kids, new careers, these two men are still standing on the same sideline. Then August 2025. Darek and Gloria sell their $2.85 million Chatsworth home. In the world of celebrity relationships, that's rarely just a real estate decision. It's usually the first domino.
You went through a lot. You got your ass whooped, all that for this love, for it to be over in 5 years.
Less than a year later, TMZ reports what a lot of people saw coming. Darek Fisher and Gloria Govan are living separate lives. Sources say they're still in communication, still trying to work through it, no divorce filed yet. But when you strip away the polite language, that's the same slow fade that happened with Matt and Gloria a decade earlier. And here's what nobody's actually connecting. The man who once sent a text bragging about beating up Darek Fisher, who once threatened in a legal filing to expose secrets straight to Darek's face, who's built a media career on being loud, direct, and unfiltered about exactly what he thinks. That man now has a front row seat to watch the relationship he lost everything over start cracking on its own. Matt Barnes has never been quiet about Darek Fisher, not in the backyard, not in the courtroom filings, not in interviews. The pattern is documented across nearly a decade. Every single time this situation resurfaces, Matt Barnes has receipts ready and isn't afraid to use them. So when insiders say Darek and Gloria are working through it privately, maybe the real story isn't whether that marriage survives. Maybe it's whether Matt Barnes stays quiet about it. And if this saga has taught us anything over the last 10 years, he never has. 10 years ago, Matt Barnes lost his best friend and his wife in the same summer. Today, the man who won is coaching high school basketball while living apart from the woman it all cost him. Sometimes the scoreboard just takes longer to update than everybody thinks. Let us know in the comments. Do you think Matt Barnes stays silent this time, or is a statement already coming? And if you want the full Matt Barnes and Anansa Sims saga, that video is linked below.